Probably a cap is not going to make me look any better, but I put it on anyway, and we are going to talk crypto, Web3 and the UK economics, which is a great topic. So I'm going to show you my Farcaster, and Toshi is the token for Farcaster. So I am in the arts, as you can see from my essay that was talking about postmodernism, community and technology, and the art movements and how art movements are made. Farcaster, I will show you, has the logo of the Roman plinths in purple, and it was known as the Purple app previously, before rebranding to Farcaster from Orcast, that was previously a W. So in it you have my wallet, which I'm just going to show you, tokens I am holding. You have the mini apps, which is their ecosystem, and the top trending apps, and the ones that I use on a regular basis. You have Polling Center by JC4P, and it just asks you questions. So this is all a way of earning new money on the internet. Let's go and visit Bizarre Beasts, and you'll see Bizarre Beasts. You can check in daily on the calendar and other things down here. You can go into their Empire app and see what coins they are holding, and buy their artwork as well directly from their app. This is a great design. I really like the UI on this one. Another one is QR. Scan the QR and win the award, and you also get a daily airdrop of 1,000 QR. Today's winner, go and click on the link and it will come up as either a mini app, it will view your profile, and that's my avatar, and so you can see. My voice is a bit dry after having dinner. I have no idea what this app is. Hash Horse gets a shout out. So culture, crypto and culturenomics, I'm going to call this. So let's call this culturenomics, shall we? Just for the sake of it, because I keep screwing up the titles. But this is Toshi. Toshi's just got a new mobile app out, and it would seem to be the case. It's going to be all about mobile, as Solana Mobile are releasing their chapter 2, and it's shipping very soon. I am receiving mine from the shipping date, and you can still order yours. The window is still open to order. So you create channels on Farcaster. So this is my profile, and this is the image of the family dog that passed last year, and these are what I've been doing, and some NFTs I've made in Procreate recently, the other night. And then this is the UI from Circus, from the Circus app. So let's go and have a look at the Circus today. Excuse me. Your apps. So you can go see the whole range of the mini apps here. And where is Circus? Right there. And this is the UI terminal, which is crazy. Profile, you can pick up and what you got. Combined followers. I didn't realise I had NFI. That's cool. You can launch Circus, Spotlight, Staking, and Tokens. And this is the hot token right now with the emoji, because the Coinbase app has recently changed to the Base app. They're using the emoji. Yeah. Now a new experience is coming. Coinbase Wallet is becoming Base, a new space where creativity and freedom are rewarded. Look out for a whole new app experience coming soon. So this is all combining with what has been going on with Toshi and them launching their mobile stuff. And they also believe that they could be a contender for the Solana mobile platform. So Christian is based.eth posted this on Farcaster. I don't think many people are aware that Coinbase Wallet was originally called Toshi. Even at B. Armstrong, CEO Coinbase, mentioned it yesterday. Probably nothing. The law runs deep for Toshi. Just listen to Brian Armstrong from yesterday. Toshi_base is literally the face of Base. And what do we have as the base? It's the chain for Coinbase. Base coin. Toshi, Satoshi, Toshi Sat, or Sats. So, there's that. And now World Mobile Team. So I'm just gonna go ahead with these videos, take it easy, see what happens. I am not too comfortable on this whole thing, so I am going to go slowly with it, but see what happens. But I do like all this stuff that's going on. I do write on my LinkedIn as well about crypto and other stuff, but I focus more predominantly on what's going on with Social Fi. And here's my post on Social Fi. Why I'm showing you my LinkedIn. Because of this, I was watching a live stream the other day of Breezy Briefs with Brooke. So she seems to be roaming homeless. Was previously making a large amount of money. Has 90k subs, but still was left in a thunderstorm yesterday after going to the gym, and she had no transport after somebody didn't show up. She also finds trusting issues with people who offer, this is me in my LinkedIn, she has trusting issues with people who offer services to help her, like when a woman turned up to, that sounded very wrong in a weird way, but this person was offered to help her with a ride back to where she was, but she didn't want people to show where she lived because she had people do whatever they did, and I've experienced that myself, and getting back to where I am has been hard enough with a potential move again, and this is why I just cannot get myself together, because I always have to move. And I guess this is what happens when you don't don't trust, and when you don't trust, you get left in these loopholes, like she did with being trapped in the rain, and with people, dropping off like flies who say they're going to be there for 1 minute and do a complete 360, like this guy who says one thing after another these days, especially when it comes to the Epstein files. Why aren't they releasing the Epstein files? Because they really should. If we are in, the time of truth, or everybody wants to be a truther, then they should really be, releasing the Epstein files, and otherwise they're just going to be incriminating themselves even further. And I just don't want to know, but I do think Trump and Musk are here to regain confidence in the technology, and I do think with what is coming for Toshi in particular, the mobile industry, and the apps that Farcaster are doing, all things connecting, something's gonna change for when it comes to the privacy over who's been hacking phones. Because again, in the live streams, when you go on live streams, there's always a copy of somebody doing something, and I caught somebody today on one of the live streams that I was looking at, and I gave a small donation to one of the content creators from what I could afford, and then all of a sudden the one underneath gives a higher $1.99 tip, and then all of a sudden, a few moments later, when they get called out after I post it, they it's like an elastic band effect, and they just go boop boop, whatever. So something's going on with this energy, and this is why I'm taking this risk. At the moment, I'm currently happy with what I'm doing. I get this feeling that somebody wants me to do something else. So we'll see if I get this up and running. If I could ideally grow even like a 90k account, doesn't even get you to the stability that you want, but maybe where it leaves people stuck with growing the channel, they need to offer different services instead of relying on affiliate links and marketing. That is just short-term thinking. But with crypto and Web3, you need to educate people about what's going on, and with the economics of what's happening with the politics, maybe this is what is my stronger point, is being to have these types of conversations. I have done it before on other videos I've uploaded, talking about other things here, there and everywhere, so I really don't know anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. But it's just interesting that we're now in that time of year where I was in the worst spot of my life probably, and the emotional burden of it is not really a waking up, but is the struggle I went through was a lot, and to keep moving around even now is concerning for my own health, because I do have quite a bad shoulder injury, which I've never had the ability to gain stability for an obvious reason, because people have always attacked my stability for their own personal gain. And I'm not naive, I'm far from naive, but I think I've had to understand life from a different perspective, and people have mistaken that for potentially being naive, and hence being put in these situations where I have to rely on others' help. Even now, when we should be giving back to them, we can't because of the situation that we are in financially. But on the other side, isn't it a funny shift of reality when billionaires or the wealthy and the well-off complain about the taxing, complain about the benefits, but they don't see it from the flip reality of having completely nothing to come from. And maybe this is why they hold on to the money, to gain in value over time. But if that money isn't moving, it's not very good for the economy. I know a number of places and property in London, in the very high-end markets, where they are just empty because they are simply being a part of a wider network of offshore accounts and paperwork trails to undisclosed buyers, but local knowledge has it, who and what type of people own these types of properties that just remain empty. And the same flip of the coin, you have the issue of immigration. And then there was something that I was thinking about earlier when it came to immigration, and then my mind's just gone blank because I can ramble on, which is why I don't like doing these videos. But maybe there's a combination that I can do both video, and I've always wanted to do a podcast, excuse me, but how I can fit it in with my writing as well, because that's really my thing, I don't know, but it probably entails all of those things. And then it becomes, I guess, with being unstable, your decision making becomes more problematic to gain that stability, because you have to be consistent, and if you can't be consistent, you can't make the right decisions. But through difficulty, you have to be forced into it, and maybe that's what it was last year, that I was forced into making a decision, because in the UK, outside of going to university and working, unless you have a community, which I do not really have a family anymore, that I can rely on other than a parent, it makes things that much more harder to follow through. And I feel that that's the case that it was, and that not my strength, but maybe my trust to learn and to keep learning is why I am indecisive for still wanting to have a job, which I'll never have, which I know knowingly I'll never have, because it's very apparent that that's just not the path for me, and I've known that for a long time. But people want to take advantage of that because they want to block whatever will come my way, and so I get stuck online. I don't get enough hits, and this is why I don't like doing these videos anymore. But one last push and we'll see what happens. There are ways for me to go about getting that noticed, and I think this has been a strength of mine, and it's all these skills that have come from somebody who's no longer here, that was a massive influence on my life. And then everyone else has just fallen to the wayside. I find that very, very, very interesting. And interesting is a boring word to use. So maybe we'll go with the unfuckwithable word instead, to describe that situation, which is basically like what the economics is doing, because it's screwing one people over for another, but not letting the other people know what they're doing. Is really kind of dirty play, I think, is what's going on. And this is why I get blocked, because of being intuitive. So we'll leave it there. Maybe I'll just do one a week. But I wanted to talk about those few things. Maybe we'll have off-topic conversations to get started with. I don't know. But I've just had my dinner, so I'm burping a bit. Still pretty early. I've not done much else today. I feel like I have to move out because where I'm living is just not practical. It's a good space, but not nice people as always. So hence doing these videos is another form of protection, because people want to play I Spy with my little I, Sunday beginning with S, and that's how they manipulate your energy basically, so that you can keep going around the bend, because that's what they want. Like strings on a puppet, they can pull to themselves, but no longer, because I know what's going on. And this is why we will see crypto bring the balance back, because of what happened in 2008. It was very clear what was going on. I was quite young at that time. When I was young, I had left school, got my first job in the height of that crash, low paying wage, but I could see with the trains in the morning that it took me on the tube 3 times to get on. Now, before COVID, it was much, much worse, and you know, a minute can mean a lot of time difference to getting to work on time or not, depending on how far you got to go. And I could see something was going on even then, because there was too many people coming in, and everybody was moaning about property at that time. I was looking for a 1-bed room, 1-bed flat. I couldn't get at that time, so you always had to look for a room. Even now, it's always a room. And I just could just see what's happening, because everybody was going into London, but nobody was looking on the outside of London. It was like a complete rat race, which is why I have a picture of a rat in my photo, and that's the way it will be. So I am going to leave this here and try to take a photo for the thumbnail. Like that. But everybody's doing photos these days, and not photos, videos these days, to get their off the record malarkey. So this is my story, and I'll share what I can if I get the notice. We'll see, because people like to play tricks and think we're dummies for it. But yeah, that was crypto. This is politics, and somewhere in between was culture. And my life story, or parts of it, leading me up to this point. of these videos. And this hat is from Thailand, a one-off, so you can't get it. And this spot is just being ignored for now.